Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Rockin' Pod is back. The annual celebration of rock returns to Nashville. This convention brings together the best rock stars, music podcasters, vinyl and memorabilia vendors, and rock fans from all corners of the globe. Special guests include Michael Sweet of Stryper, Brian Forsyth of Kix, Jason Beeler of Saigon Kick, Eerie Vaughn of Danzig, and members of Exodus, Roxy Blue, Every Mother's Nightmare, Kick Tracy, and more. Music podcasts from all over North America will be recording on-site all weekend. Special pre-party featuring the Rock and Roll Residency, The Talisman, 8 Ball, and Lipstick Generation on Friday night. Rockin' Pod Expo on Saturday. Join us at the Nashville Airport Marriott August 9th and 10th for Rockin' Pod. Podcast registration and tickets and VIP packages available now at rockinpod.com.
Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast. This is episode 176. We have Ed Spangenberg from the Klick Tea Shop coming on here soon. But before we do that, I'm here with my two esteemed co-hosts. Esteemed, as we say.
That's a big word.
It is. But anyway, Mr. Alan Tate and Mr. Bill Algie. How you guys doing?
Hi, y'all.
Good. It's hotter.
Guess what it is?
Up here,
I was going to say,
man.
what is it in Indiana?
It's a little moist out there.
It's fucking
It's
hot.
not moist.
It is fucking hot. This is the hottest day we've had so far this year. My son called me a while ago. He said, Dad, I got in the car and my thing said 106. I'm like going, yeah, I know. It's hot. And
It's getting hot in here.
it's very, we had band, actually, Al and I had band rehearsals last night, and it was absolutely ball sweating hot, wasn't it, Alan?
I don't know if your balls were sweating or not.
I know mine was.
I don't know what kind of band practice y'all are having, but I don't want to go.
Well, it wasn't
Dennis
hot
Rock.
enough. It was not hot enough that shirts come off. We had a practice once before that was hotter that shirts come off.
That's got to be a glorious sight.
Well, it was Dennis and Alan, so you can't get any better than that.
Wow. That's. Can I?
All right.
I can't get. See, that's bad because now I'm like, I can't get that out of my head. That's nasty.
Actually, I was
Nasty.
actually going to go live last night, but I decided to not do it. But I wish we did because we had a good rehearsal last night and went through a lot of good songs and actually worked out some stuff and we're getting there. We actually may have a gig toward the end of August. It's not set in stone, so I think next practice I may go live at some point. So for the
Now, when
people
he
that-
says towards the end of August, he means dead in the middle of August. It's August 15th.
Anyway, about a month from now. So anyway,
Math,
What time zone are you in?
math, no good.
Yeah.
it's-
Cannot read calendar.
This is just a possibility, but we're really looking at next year. But I think we're ready to go. Like I said, we've been having fun with this, and it's turning to be a good project. We're real happy with the way it's turning out. So after retiring, I'm going to get back into it for but not every weekend. So
Oh, that didn't take long.
yeah. Anyway, but we're having fun at it. Anyway, before we get into talking to Ed, what's everybody got this week? Some news or any kind of concerts or what do you got, Scott?
I want to talk a little bit about Rockin' Pod, the Podcaster Expo coming up next month. Chris is doing a little, or somebody has set it up. I don't think Chris is doing it specifically, but they've got it set up. If you go to the Rockin' Pod Expo website, there's a GoFundMe thing where they're doing collecting money to help people get to the expo that normally wouldn't be able to get there, I guess. But if you would like to be on our show and you get to be the co-host, the main co-host, you get to pick the topic and everything, go to the Rockin' Pod page, donate $50, and put in the comment section that it's donated on behalf of Ages of Rock, and we'll let you on the show. And that's all I got to say about that. The only other thing that I've got is this Sunday night I'm going to go see Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie. So next week I should have. If I don't get up and walk out, it's a $20 ticket. So if I decide I don't like it, I'm not going to stick around.
I don't blame you. I've done it before.
Yeah.
I had a freebie and walked out on a concert or two.
Honestly, the only show that I have ever walked out of before it was over was one year I went to Rocklahoma and Korn closed the show. Man, I didn't even make it through the third song. I was like, I do not like this at all. So, bye, y'all.
Yeah. 9 Inch Nails was mine. It put the nail in my coffin, and I went to Kipley's and finished out the night drinking beer.
Put a 9-inch nail in your coffin.
And it was a big nail. Bill, what you got this week? Anything good and exciting?
Nope.
Nothing.
I've been prepping for my big event that's next weekend, so I really haven't done much. So I got all my Kiss Pop Funko little vinyl guys. So cool. I have completed the set, or the second set. I do have one of the first set, which the Gene Simmons thing on eBay is worth like $150 or something like that. So
what is the difference between the first editions and now the second editions? Is it just
no? They're different.
They're different.
Look totally different. Like the new one, the first one, there's just the eyes, Gene's eyes, and then the guitar, and that's it. I mean, and him playing. But the second one is he's got his tongue sticking out. And he's holding a flame thing.
Right.
Okay. So they're different. They're not the same. So
same size, so
yeah, they're exactly the same
size.
Yeah, they're the same size.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only difference really is the.
I'm not in. I know what you're talking about. I went down there today actually to this one place and they had a bunch of those, but I don't know much about them. So
yeah, well, all I know is I bought them because they're my favorite band. I looked. It's kind of funny. I looked at the Vince Neil one and it said free. It said $9.99 and a free buffet.
was box kind of like
it wasn't the same box. These boxes are like I don't know.
Pushed on the sides
yeah,
where
these
the
boxes are like 6 inches. His were 6 inches tall. His was about 6 inches tall and 6.5 inches wide. So I'm not sure exactly.
That was just the cardboard just kind of pushed out to the side. It was like
actually I think his came in like a bowl.
Oh, guys,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that stuff. I'm a fat guy too. I get to say that.
I
shit.
know. That's actually our one thing that can save us because we are fat guys. So
yeah, so I can talk bad about fat guys because I'm a fat guy.
All right.
Anyway,
real quick,
I don't really have anything other than that. I haven't bought any tickets or anything. Going to go see. Going to a concert in 2 weeks to see at Red Rock Amphitheater in Denver. So looking forward to that. Yeah, that's it for me. Okay, I'm shutting up now.
You're doing that. I'm glad that you get to go to Red Rocks. Who is it you're seeing? I don't remember. I know it was.
I don't know.
It was somebody that was.
Truckers. I have no idea.
Okay.
I've listened to so far. The fact that they're in Denver is appropriate.
Gotcha.
Get my drift.
This is tell me this, Bill. Does the show start at 4:20?
Yeah,
it does. The pre-show starts at 4:20. Wow, isn't that amazing? And then they have a Domino's right there.
All right. Anyway, I did go see Pat Benatar on Sunday night. It was absolutely a wonderful concert, and once again I'm seeing the people that it's been on my list for a long time, and I'm glad I got to see her. It was at the Victory Theater, which is a small venue. It was pretty crowded. I don't know how many people were upstairs in the balcony portion, but the lower portion was pretty full. The show started at 7. There was no opening band, so they played from 7 to about 8:35 to 8:45, something like that. And
exactly what time? I want to know exactly.
I don't know, but I know I was home before 9:30, and I loved that on a Sunday night. We were home, and I tell you what, it was a great concert. She played, I think, 16, 17 songs. Did a couple of them acoustic, did a couple of them kind of weird, but they basically was a 4-piece band. She, for 66 years old, Pat looked hotter than hell. and that woman can sing her ass off. Now there was a couple times on some of those songs from the 80s that she goes up there. She didn't go there. She went about here, and it sounded great. She knew but then she hit a couple of those. When she could hit it, she hit it, and it was just a really, really good show. And it was interesting. Kevin Book, one of our previous guests, he was doing backline there at that concert. So he was sending me all these photos of Mr. Gerardo's rig. It's like he had a weird fucking setup, and we'll talk about that at some point. I don't want to really get into it now, but no, it was a fan-fucking-tastic show. Kelly really wasn't excited about seeing him, but once again, we come out and she's like, "Oh, no, that was a really good show. I'm so glad we went to see it." So, what I'm saying, go see your people that you want to see now. Don't wait.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
When you go see Amos Lee,
right?
Do you leave the stadium club, and that was a really, really good show.
That's happened twice. Out of 5. No,
I'm just busting your balls because Kelly's going to listen to this. I'm just really
the show. No, and she knows it. The whole point is,
I'm just giving you crap, man.
How can you seen this guy so many times and you don't know one song? I just don't know what the names of the songs are. But the night he played at the Nashville with the Philharmonic, that was fan-fucking-tastic. Plus, he did an acoustic show. And this last one we saw was just a really good show. We were really close for a change, and it was more an intimate theater. And it's one of those things where I don't really know his music, but it's entertaining, and I enjoy it. So
so you enjoy it. Okay, that's good.
And Kelly has a good time. And we were in Memphis and we had a few beers, and it was a good time. So anyway, real quick. I know everybody gets tired of this, but real quick, I did do some record shopping this week.
Everybody gets tired of it, but I'm going to show you anyway.
So anyway, no, but actually.
We've gotten some feedback, though.
Yes.
We have a lot of people that like that.
From Canada.
Our buddy Sheldon. And we have
Shout out to Sheldon.
Yes, and we have hopefully a plan with Sheldon that's going to work out.
Don't start talking about that. You don't even.
Anyway,
dude.
We're trying to. Anyway, so here's for Sheldon. We got, and these are all in good shape, so I won't even say they're in good shape.
You're not going to say it 14 times?
No. Not even once. I did. Well, it was once here. Here we go. I got these today. Actually, I got 4 today and a couple last Saturday. Yes, Big Generator. Got this on CD. I like this album. $5. Finally got this after so many years. Kansas, Point of No Return. I've been wanting that for a long time. That was $5. A little Scorpion in action. Some Animal Magnetism. Got that one. $6. I really like this, and I've picked this up twice now. David Lee Roth, Eat 'Em and Smile. Got that for $7. Bill liked that one. I know. Yeah. I said,
sure.
Actually, one that I found in my old stack that can be brought to the new stack. John Waite's Ignition that has Change on it. I like that a lot. That one song. So, let's see, Asia's first album. I got it for $3. That's a steal for that one. Zebra's first album, $4.
I've seen that about 1 million times.
Yeah, that's a good one. I thought I had a copy of that, but I have the second album. Pieces of 8 Sticks, which I just seen them do that in its entirety here recently. $4. A funny one that I liked through high school and had it on CD, but now Genesis Abacab. There's some great songs on there. I for some reason I like this album.
I picked that up and put it back.
I like
Genesis.
The funny thing about I like Genesis so much better without Peter Gabriel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not a Peter Gabriel fan.
Definitely. Funny thing about this, there was 2 copies of this down here, and both copies had different coloring. So when I went on Discog, there is about 18 different versions of this album with the different colors. Sometimes this is red, sometimes this is blue, sometimes that's, what I'm saying? So I don't know which one I've got. I mean, it says Atlantic Records, New York.
You got to read
the one in your hand?
Yeah, you got to read the spine. The spine will tell you. When you go through and put it on your Discogs, it'll tell you.
Well,
the number that's on the spine.
The spine, which is
the spine of the record.
The actual record.
The opposite side where the number is.
Okay.
So flip it over.
Your right hand is on the spine.
Yeah, your right hand is on the spine.
Okay. So I'll look at that then.
The number there should match.
Oh, this one here.
There you go.
So it's an SD 19313.
Yeah. So that should tell you.
Okay, well that's
Because it may be different countries and all kinds of other stuff. They do wacky
Yeah,
shit like
I
that.
mean, this is I don't know. So I was kind of confused, so I just picked the one just to put on Discogs. Anyway, and then I got
Probably left the one that's worth $100, and you picked up the one that's worth $250.
I bought it. You know what? I bought it to play it, so I really don't give a shit. Brian Adams Cut Like a Knife. So I got my Brian Adams collection almost. That was $5. And then I did pick up a repick, but it's in like better shape. And I know you don't like Steve Miller Band, but this is Book of Dreams, which has I know he's yawning already. This has all the great songs on it. So anyway, those are my record buys for this week. And
all the great songs.
Book Broker right now has a lot of doubles and triples of a bunch of shit, and they did have Metallica's Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All,
Master Puppets.
Well, they didn't have Master Puppets, but there was one more. But anyway, it was like brand new shape in plastic, all that shit. But they want $20 a piece, and it's like
that's pretty good actually. That's really
they
good.
are because they're hard to get Metallica albums, and I know
because I've seen them every time I see them. They're $30 or more. So that's $20 is really good.
They're $20 down there. I'm just not a big enough Metallica fan to spend $20. So anyway, that was my records for the week. And like I said, if you like this, we're going to keep continuing it. If not, let us know. As far as that's concerned,
the most important part is just costing Dennis money.
Hey, it's $5 here, $6 here. Who cares?
It's like $40. $40 a week times 4 weeks.
But
they call that a habit. You're gonna have to go to rehab, bro.
It's like I went out to eat this week. So anyway, it's my birthday month, so I'm just doing that for that. So anyway, we're gonna get to our guest, Mr. Ed,
and I will see you all next week.
Yeah. All right, so we're on now with Ed Spangenberg, and I got that right, didn't I? There we go.
Yeah.
All right,
Why don't you count down? So what you don't know is before he gets on there, he goes, okay, 1, 2, 3. Like, what? That's too funny.
Oh, man, I tell you what, though. So
These
anyway,
podcasts are crazy, man.
They are crazy. Anyway, we met Ed up at the Indie Expo here back when was that? That was back in
March? May?
Shit, I don't remember. May.
Yeah, it was May.
And but anyway, won't you tell them why you're here, and what you do, and what you're representing?
Well, I'm representing my T-shirt shop, which is Klick T Shop with a K, and I do Kiss nostalgia T-shirts. I have probably.
Bill's representing. If you're not
watching,
represent
my Samuel T. Serpent shirt.
Yeah. So I have over 30 designs right now, and I'm coming out this Friday, July 12th, with the official Aircar merchandise. So I have a license agreement for 3 different designs of it for Aircar, and they'll go on sale officially on Friday.
That's awesome.
That's cool, man. So you work with a family to get that license deal, or?
I did, yeah. So it's a limited thing with the licensing, and it's a limited production run. So once they're done, the production run, then we go back to perhaps renegotiate and move forward from there.
Is it his sister you deal with? I know that she's the one that goes to these Kiss expos and stuff, and she's the one that kind of carries the torch for Eric.
Right, it's Loretta, and
Right.
and what I did was, when I did the New Jersey Expo last year in January, or I think it was, or February, I forget exactly what month it was, but when I met her table was right next to mine, so we sort of hit it off and started talking about everything, and we were joking around and everything, and I was there having a great time and everything, and then at the last day that I was there, so it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The last day I was there, she actually asked me, she said, would you make a T-shirt for Eric? And that was never my intention to sort of try to hit her up to do anything for her. But she asked me, and I was, floored. I said, absolutely, I would love to. So, we started negotiating and talking about it. And then she goes, whatever, come up with some designs and we'll talk about it. And time went on and everything, and then I put together the designs, and once I showed her, she was like sort of floored with the designs, and she was like, let's go forward. And so we signed a licensing agreement, like I said, and here we are today, and happily going to release them on Friday, which is really exciting because, like I've been doing stuff. And of course, there's licensing that I can't touch. There's things that are trademarked and copyright by Kiss. Absolutely their logo or any of their makeup, which is, it's a no-no. So I know that right away because my background is in advertising. So I know the ins and outs of how copyright works. And so I'm treading lightly on what I create, and everything is a Kiss reference. But with these ones here, I get to actually work with Aircar and his signature, and the name Aircar is also licensed as well.
That's cool. So what do the designs look like? Can you share that, or?
Yeah, I do. I don't have I actually, the shirts that I had printed up, I gave them to Loretta. I printed some out. So let me see if I can get this in the camera good.
Just go center. Yeah, that looks good right there. Just go
Is that
center.
good right there?
Yeah.
So this first design is called Aircar Icon. And the concept behind the first one is that all the iconic imagery of Kiss, like Rock and Roll Over, anything that was illustrated, and the Love Gun cover, Destroyer, like it took that makeup and it made them more superheroes. And so with the first design that I did, which is the Icon one, I wanted to represent that look and that feel of like, simplistic artwork, but something very impactful that when you saw it, maybe it would be something that it would have been on the Rock and Roll Over or the solo albums or something for Eric himself. So I wanted to create that mystique and look of his design and his makeup and everything. And so I actually has a signature on there as well. It's in blue. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
So you use the makeup there for that one. So does Eric own does she own that design? Or is there a lot of
a sort of gray area with it, but the thing is that her thing is, from what I'm told, is that she owns the likeness of Eric Carr, so
Okay.
we're going down the road.
No. It's all right. I think it's cool. I mean, I think that's a good thing.
Because
I think that,
go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes they Kiss markets the shit out of a lot of stuff, but sometimes they miss the boat on some things that are just blindingly obvious that they really ought to get a handle on. But which I think that's the great thing. I mean, I think the stuff you're doing is incredible. I mean, I think they've, I like being able to find that stuff that's just kind of one-off-ish. That's not cookie cutter that you can buy everywhere at Walmart and all that other kind of crap. So
right, that's exactly my. When I started the whole concept of creating Klick Tea Shop, I wanted to create something iconic, and it didn't have to say Kiss over the head. It could be something that you wore every day, and it's still very cool without shouting the name Kiss. And when people see it that are real Kiss fans, and they see the skull, or they see, Tom and Jerry from Peter's, 1977 kit on either side of his, drums, and they get it. They're just like floored by it, and they think it's the coolest thing in the world. And some of them, people that really discover it, is almost like discovering, lost a coin stuff or something, that they were like, oh my God, I can't believe this is incredible. So I just love that reaction I get from the fans and the people that buy my stuff, and I get a lot of support, and they want me to continue and keep on going down the road with more and more stuff and more designs. So I'm just thrilled to actually, this feels like the next step and the next evolution part of my, my business that I'm doing, is doing something that's official, and something that, what a dream come true for somebody who's a designer, and B, somebody that works in this industry. So,
right.
I have my second design. What I put together it's called the Fox Belt. And what it is Eric Carr, when he first came out, if you see like all the early stuff, like Kids Are People Too, he wore the outfit and he had a belt which had this, fox head on it. It didn't obviously have the makeup on it. I sort of like embellished it and improved on it, but also what I felt was the Chikara symbol that he used as well throughout, his drum kit, and Kiss is synonymous with the Chikara symbol, and it first appeared on Hotter Than Hell. So, and all the Japanese references they have throughout, and when they went to Japan, how big it was there. So I wanted to, get again, what is, it's not just the design or it's just something, they're pictures and we're slapping on a t-shirt. We're actually looking into the history of the band. I'm looking into, what would represent Eric too. What is something that I can pull from, his history with the band that, again, I'm not sort of, I'm creating something completely different that it hasn't existed before, but might resonate with the fans.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
Both of those look cool. They're awesome.
So the third one, and this is the one I spent probably the most time on because it's more like a fine art piece, basically. But when I'm designing it, I know that it's got to go on a T-shirt, so I'm designing it for black, and I'm designing it with going on a T-shirt in mind. So this one is called Aircar Smile, and that one
That's nice.
is based upon, like, if you have watched the Fox Tale, the Aircar story that they put together, the family, Bill Aucoin is interviewed on there, and Bill Aucoin brought up the fact that when you met Eric, it was his personality, and it was basically his smile that you remembered, and that's exactly what he said. So when I heard that, it sort of like hit me over the head, where if you see all the merchandising of Eric Carr or any kind of illustration or anything, it's very somber, it's very serious, and it seemed to me like that really didn't reflect who he was or his personality. So that was the one I was like, all right, let's flip the switch on this whole look and feel of what Eric was represented in the past and do something different and cool and see if, again, if it resonates with the fans. And so, like, I've been posting on social the designs now, letting people know that it's coming out on July 12th. But that one there, like, people really, they were thrilled to see that, and we're very happy with all three of them. But that one seems to be standing out a little bit more.
Well, it's just different. It's like, to your point, and I think it's just very different than the other design. I mean, it's different than any other Kiss stuff you've seen. I mean, it's always some serious thing. There's never, it's not really their personality. I mean, even Ace has got some really great photos of him laughing, which is typical Ace. And nobody ever does anything with that stuff. That stuff in makeup. I mean, that stuff is cool. Is really cool.
Well, they're breaking character. That's the whole point.
I mean,
they're trying to be character, but if you,
but that's not their personality. That's
it's not that.
Oh no, like some of those, those earlier. What was that one video? I can't remember the one, but where Gene. It was one of the first ones where Gene and Paul were talking out of makeup, and they were talking about. And they were talking. No, it wasn't. It was the one that they did, the double one, right before they come out with the new, right before '96. What was that video? Where they kind of went through the history. Him and Gene and Paul sit down. But he was talking about Eric.
Rise to it? Is that you talking about the rise to it? What, they put the makeup back on?
No. I'm talking about just it was a documentary.
Oh, okay.
And they were talking, but Gene said, and he's telling stories about Eric, and goes, "That's Eric Carr," because he was always cutting up. He was always the prankster. He was the one doing fun stuff and laughing and joking and always, cutting up with people. So, like you said, that was his persona. It wasn't this seriousness. He liked life and had a good time. With it. So,
but and again, it's like if you talk to. If it was Kiss's management or something like that, they probably would never even go down that road because they were like, no, that's not how we represent this. But hey, I got my own freedom here, and if the Carr family likes it, then it's a win. So, but I mean, you need a backstory with anything in advertising. You need to sell it. I mean, I could draw a pretty picture, but what's the meaning behind it? So that's what I try to do with all my creative on a daily basis. So I work as a senior art director in pharmaceutical advertising. So it's a
wow.
big, so everything is a big sell every day.
Oh yeah.
You have to convince people to, try this new treatment, do this student drug. So I learn a lot. So I take all the things that I learn on a daily basis and take that away, and able to, as a Kiss fan, create these cool T-shirts, which it's something that is a side thing, and I just get the biggest kick out of it, because when I originally started it, I never thought it would possibly do anything at all. Like I said earlier, it was like sort of like out of greed that I wanted to do it for myself. So I created the very first one was the Gene skull shirt, which I never saw, and then I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if I had a T-shirt of that. So I did it. I created it, and I posted it on Facebook. And the next day, I had 100 likes. So right away, I knew something. I was onto something. So then I created the Peter Criss Michigan Cat one, and Ace Frehley's original shirt or long sleeve shirt that he had was the eagle wings on it on the front. And so I created that. And then fast forward, once I started creating those, Jeremy Asbrock of the Gene Simmons, at that time, Gene Simmons band, was just getting started. And Jeremy, I could see my sales that were happening, and I can see the sale come in and it said Jeremy Asbrock, and I knew who he was. And I wrote to him right away, or hit him up on Facebook, and I said, hey, are you the Jeremy Asbrock from he said, yeah. He goes, I'll tell you what, when I saw that shirt, I knew that was going to be my tour shirt. So he wore, all during the Gene Simmons tour, he wore the skull shirt. And then when he joined Ace and Gene over in Japan, he wore the skull for Gene. And then for Ace Frehley, he wore the wings shirt. So that helped, spread the word of my name and my brand. And I just kept on adding on more shirts as I went. So like I mentioned earlier, I have like over probably 30 shirts now, and I have tons of ideas sitting on the sideline as well, which, people will get a kick out of them.
So with those shirts that you have, I mean, they are, like you said, they don't say Kiss, but they say Kiss. You know what I'm saying? In a roundabout way. So right. Since Jeremy wore these shirts, have you heard from Gene or Ace on what they thought about them personally?
Actually, I did. I asked Jeremy right away. I was like, after he's been wearing it for a while, I said,
when's the lawyers going to call me? They're going to be at my door.
So I said to Jeremy, did Gene ever say anything about the shirt that you're wearing? And he said he came in one day and they were getting ready to go on. And he said he came in the back room where they're getting dressed, and he goes, I know that shirt. I used to wear something like that. And Jeremy's reaction was, I know. So that he did, and it was a very similar story to what Ace did, and he recognized the wings, and he did the same thing, basically. Oh, yeah, I recognize that. And then it's funny because the new Ace Frehley song that just came out is the animated one. Have you seen it?
No, have not.
No. Oh.
There's a new video out. I forget the name of the song, but now they're playing it in concert as well. Forgive me, Ace, I forget the name of the song. But all the characters are animated in it, and Ace is there, and Space Bear's in it, and the guys in the band are in it as well, but they have the orange spacesuits on. But the orange spacesuit actually has the eagle wings on it.
Cool.
And I was like, well, I wonder where they got that influence.
You should sue him for copyright infringement. But that'd be funny.
Gene's probably going back with
Kiss gets sued for copyright infringement.
Gene's going back. He's trying to do the skull and crossbones. They said, look, pirates have been doing this shit for years. It's like for centuries.
I mean, if he wants to contact me and wants to work out a deal, I said, anytime, sure, give me a call.
That's awesome.
If he's watching this today, it's like,
right.
Yeah, hey, Uncle Gene, give me a call.
Oh, I hope he is watching. But
wow.
No, I guess I just, like I said, I like the fact that you're doing this. You're just not saying like going, Kiss on my shirt, but it's stuff that Kiss fans like going, I know that shirt. That's fucking cool, you know.
Right. And the thing is, too, is that anybody could take a picture of Kiss, posterize it, make it look like an illustration, and slap the Kiss logo on it. But where's the creativity behind that? There's no thoughts process that goes behind any of that. And then even like their licensed merchandise that I see, it's like, here's the picture that they released when they're doing the final tour, and that's the picture that you see on the shirts. I'm like, why didn't they even take a picture that doesn't exist in the media and do something different with the photo? You know what I mean? Like something original that you can only get on the shirt. You know, it baffles me that why people don't think that out, and they don't think out.
Well, yeah, and especially as much as they're charging for shirts on the tour.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you know.
Wouldn't you love to see something really cool and original? Yeah. Like there's so many fantastic artists out there that are, you know, creating Kiss stuff all the time. Right. Not just me, but there's tons of them out there. And why not give them an opportunity to, you know, create something really special for the fans?
Why don't they have the paint? Yeah, why don't they have the painter dude that's opening the shows? Really? I mean, why don't he? If he created some kind of artwork like that,
special shirt,
a special shirt, then he did it. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be actually cool. Yeah. Sam the Serpent shirt.
That's what I was going to say.
I like that shirt.
Pull that up. So basically, because you basically hand drew, or that's a hand drawn of that thing. That's why it's in
everything of mine is all hand drawn.
Is it really hand drawn?
Yes, that one took forever.
Yeah, man. That's
cool.
As hell.
It is cool.
I built it all in
my shirt.
I built it all in Vector, so like it's built in Adobe Illustrator. Sure. So Vector is basically, you can scale it to whatever size you want. It doesn't matter. So if I built it in that, I can make posters out of it or billboards out of it, and it never gets pixelated. So
I used to work for a print company, and I used Adobe, that stuff, but there was Illustrator, and like I said, and then we could take these signs and we put in even text, and then you could blow them up as long as, you know, hard as you wanted to, but you didn't have to worry about them pixelating on the edges and stuff.
Exactly.
So,
So
I worked with Adobe. Makes some really good software.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing with me too, is, you know, my background is in illustration and everything from way back when, and, you know, working in the design industry. I owned my own company for over 20 years, where that's all I use every day is Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop and other Adobe products.
PageMaker is another one we used to use a lot. PageMaker is a great program.
I don't think it exists anymore. PageMaker.
It doesn't? Well, see, I've been at Toyota for 20 years, so it's been it was 23 years ago I used that. But PageMaker was PageMaker 6.
Yeah. It's InDesign now is the new.
InDesign? Okay.
At creating.
So, Ed, have you copyrighted your logos then? Are they copyrighted?
No, nothing of mine. People have asked me too, like, why don't you copyright your stuff? And I just think that right at this point, like, it would just cost so much money that it wouldn't be, you know, fruitful for me to do it right at this point. So maybe perhaps down the road.
So when did you start selling the shirts then?
So it was like
the first design was a skull shirt. So when did you start selling that?
I guess it was around July of 2017. So it's like 2 years now.
Wow.
And I used to, like, at the time when I started the shop, I was working in the city of Philadelphia. That's where I'm at here. I'm in the suburbs of Philly, but I used to take the train in. So it was like a half-hour train ride in and a half-hour train ride home. So every day that I got going into work and getting out of work, I would be actually creating, you know, the illustrations on the train.
Right.
And actually one day I was sitting on a train, and this woman sitting next to me, I have in the background here, I have some illustrations of like Paul Stanley, and I did one of Gene Simmons too. Like I did these illustrations while I'm on the train.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
So
you drew that?
Yeah, I did.
God dang, man. I can't draw a damn stick figure.
Sorry.
I spent a month on each one of those, but I was working on the Gene Simmons illustration one day on a train, And this woman sat next to me. She goes, that's my cousin. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, Gene is actually my cousin. She goes, I don't see him that often. It's usually like holidays or funerals. She said that she runs into Gene, but she goes, that's a very excellent illustration. But it's like, isn't that a small world? Like,
that
you're
is.
running people.
Yeah, Bill does stick figures, and 6 months later, he's got this really cool looking stick figure. It's just shaded a little more.
Yes. I try to make it be 3-dimensional, but it just really doesn't have any pop at all.
No stick to it.
Stop by, I can teach a couple things.
No,
Man.
That's
telling
good. I tell you, that's talent. I mean, to be able to do that. I mean, I used to draw and paint stuff in high school, but faces were never my thing. Never could do faces.
That was actually
inanimate objects.
My thing, yeah. Doing illustrations of people's faces has always been my thing. That creating likenesses, but getting emotion and feeling out of those illustrations too is what I try to capture. So that's what I try to capture with the illustration that I did of Aircar as well. So
yeah. So those first ones you sold, did you sell them through Facebook or did you sell them through?
No, there's a lot of like
because I bought one of those skull and crossbone things off of Facebook. You get those Facebook ads, and it was a skull. It was the same shirt. And it was decent, but like the first time I dried it, the sticker, I guess when it dried, it got hot, and it pulled that one, and it had like a piece of white that came off, and then I got a white spot. But
the thing is, with my T-shirt shop is that, like, if there's ever a problem, like with either prints or anything, they'll automatically send you a brand new shirt for free.
This probably came from China or something. I mean, it was like one of those, how they do that on. Facebook, so it's one of those.
But my shop it's all the fulfillment and they're one-offs. So, but they're all done online. There's a lot of different places like Threadless and Redbubble, and I use a bunch of them online. But actually, right now I'm in the process of switching over my entire shop to my own e-commerce shop as well. So. And I have a background in e-commerce too. I owned an e-commerce business for 5 years, so I know a lot about e-commerce as well and setting up shops. So that's my next move, is to set up the e-commerce shop. So, and then with that too, I'm able to do different things with that, different kind of products and everything. So it'll be sort of like another start again for me with the shop.
Cool.
That's cool. So will you have some new product then whenever you launch that to kind of draw people to it?
One of the cool ones is that I'll be able to do sneakers, and I'm like right now when I did these hats, I did them specifically for the Indie Expo, and so I had 20 of them, and they sold. I think I sold 10 of them in the first 5 minutes, and I wasn't even set up to sell. I was just opening the box, and people just came over and just scooped them all up. And so I'm thrilled that the new shop will, I'll be able to put any one of the designs on the hats. So that'll be great.
Cool. Yeah, I was texting Sonny Pooney as fast as I could. He's out there. I wasn't in town. I forget where I was. Right, I'm texting him as fast as I'm like, dude, if he opens that box, because I think he sent me a thing that you were opening the box. I'm like, if he opens the box and there's a hat in the box or a Samuel T. Serpent, I need one of each of those. He's like, dude, I'm here messing around. I'm not getting you no shirt. I'm like, man, you come on, dude. And
I met Bill in the parking lot of the hotel that day, and I said we were going to go in and go get some. Or actually, we're going to go to see some record stores. He goes, dude, I've already spent $50 or whatever it was before. He goes, I got Sonny. I owe him already a bunch of money because he goes, I got a cool shirt and I got a cool hat. I'm like going, damn, I ain't even been there yet.
It was awesome. That's how to do it.
Hats went quick. If I knew that how people were going to react to them, obviously I would have brought more.
Oh, if you'd have been there last year, you weren't there last year then, right?
What's that?
You weren't at the Indie Expo last year, were you?
No, I've only done 2 expo. I did the Jersey one, and that was the first time at Indy. The Indy one's kind of tough because I'm coming from Pennsylvania, and so like I got to bring all that merchandise.
It's 10 hours. Come on, man.
I am not driving. I'll tell you that.
It's a road trip.
I just drove it to West Point.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
No, see, Bill and I and Alan, we had the podcast. We were up there last year, and because they had that huge one last year. You know, you had Ace up there. I mean, it was like
back at all the stuff from
God,
then.
it
Like,
was.
oh, man, if I only was there.
that show was.
And actually, we were kind of on the corner. It was us, Julian Gill, and then Steve and Sonny and Joe Polo, and then Lorraine was actually across from us. She had Eric Carr stuff set up over there.
Oh yeah.
And right across from us, and so we would see. We talked to her quite a bit and everything. And,
Oh, very cool.
But
yes, hopefully, like the next time you see Loretta with her Eric Carr stuff,
Loretta,
perhaps
cool.
this,
Yeah.
So.
And it's kind of funny you say that because I had a gentleman come to my office, and he has the same last name as Eric, his real name.
Hello.
Yeah. And so he comes in, he puts his card down on my desk, and he says, "I'm from this company," and his name's was it Paul, Richard Caravello. And I look at that, and I looked at him, looked back at the card, I looked at him, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "You aren't by any chance like from New York or that area, are you?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "You aren't by any chance related to like Paul Caravello?" And he goes, "Well, my dad's cousin is his dad." or my dad, my dad's, yeah. And I'm like, "Okay, what are you selling?"
That's right.
But he never got me anything. He goes, "I got all this kind of stuff, and Loretta comes to our reunions and things like that." I'm like, okay, and nothing. I'm like, "Dude, now you're just a douchebag." So, I didn't buy anything. Oh well, whatever. But yeah, it's cool. When you find it is a really small world. You get to thinking about it. It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's neat. So did you so you sold a lot in Indy then? You said, yep.
New Jersey was very successful as well. So yeah, I'm into them now. Really, they're fun too. And I guess my mission too, when I went to both New Jersey and the Indie Expo, was that making sales is cool, but meeting the people is the other part, and making the connections, like meeting the Carr family and other people. I mean, just hanging out with Jeremy and the guys and Ryan.
You had Philip and Ryan and Jeremy right there with you, just hanging out all day. It's like that's a party.
Great. Like I sat right next to them and hung out with them. Yeah. We had dinner, so getting to meet them, talk to them. I mean, I created a T-shirt for them as well, the Talisman T-shirt.
Yeah, I saw that.
Great shirt.
And they went out there with, I don't know, maybe like it was 25 T-shirts or something like that. They did a short run with them, and they sold all of them except for 2.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's pretty good, right?
Right.
Yeah, that was another success that we'll chalk up on the board. So
those guys are, they're just really, they're incredible guys, and they are just a badass band. I mean,
they are. They're good.
Wow. Have you seen Ace? Have you seen Ace with them?
Yeah, I have a couple times. I just saw them in Wilkes-Barre. I was up there.
Actually, I was.
Family's up from there.
I was literally. We had stopped in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. I don't know if you know where that's at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd stopped there to stay the night on our way to New York. I mean, on our way to West Point. And then I find out the next morning when I'm looking, or later that night about 11:30, I'm looking on Facebook, flipping through there, and a couple of the guys that other podcast guys are at that show.
Matt.
Steve, right?
Steve, yeah.
Steve is from my hometown. I'm from Carbondale originally. Okay. Steve and I lived in the same hometown. Wow. And I was there with Steve and Pete too. Yeah.
And Pete even had Pete had an extra ticket for you too.
And he had 2 extra tickets. I'm like,
no, I had I had an extra.
Killing me.
We all had extra tickets.
Wow.
Oh my God. I'm like, and I didn't even know it. I had no clue. And then I was like, you got to be shitting me. We were like 30 minutes away.
We had a blast. We did have a good time.
We had a blast. We went to see him in Nashville. That was a lot of fun.
We ran into Chris and Zach and Aaron and all those guys, and we took a bunch of people with us from our show. And yeah, it was one of those things where we had a bunch of meetup, and it was really good.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a great time.
In the Rockin' Pod?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
You gonna be down there?
Do that?
Well, Chris has been, I've been in contact with Chris,
You
and
need
I
to
helped
go.
him out. And I know we're doing a giveaway with Chris, and we're doing a couple package deals where people can
Right.
do a raffle with them and everything. So I would love to get down there, but
You need to go.
my schedule. I just started this new job, and I've only been there for like 1 year, so I have very limited time off. You know how it is with your first at a job. So this year I don't have all that much time, so I'm on the fence about it. I would love to go though. I really would. I would just love to walk around and get on shows and talk it up about the shop. Of course I would.
It's
know,
a bunch
great,
of us.
man.
It's a bunch of us, and Steve. And Steve's going to be down there. All these guys are going to be down there. Matt and I mean, it's just, and it's like a brotherhood, and we just it's a party. We have a great time, and they're going to be the Rock and Roll Residency is going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be just awesome. I can't wait.
I think they're actually representing themselves. Like I heard the spot on Chris's thing. He said Rock and Roll Residency / the Talisman. So I don't know if they're going to go as the Talisman or not, but I hope they do.
I have no clue what's going to go on for sure.
I tell you, that we've seen the Rock and Roll Residency. We went to a show of theirs, the last official show that they did, because they were doing weekly shows in Nashville, and the last one they did, I'm telling you, that was probably easy one of the best shows I've ever seen.
I've seen footage and everything of them doing it, and
you had to be there. It was just,
man, I wish I could lived in Nashville. I really do.
Yeah, we were 2 hours away. Actually, you're what? You're about 3, Bill, and I'm about 2 hours.
Yeah, about 3.5.
I'm 2 hours. I'm 2 hours from Nashville, so I can get down there.
Yep.
So these Eric Carr T-shirts, where can you find these at, and where can we get them at? And I mean, where are we going to go?
All you have to do is go to klicktshop.com. So it's KLICK, Klick, T, which is TEE, and then shop, SHOP.com.
Okay.
And then you'll see that right there on the homepage is the 3 new designs, and you can click on them and learn more about each one of the designs, and then you can purchase different styles of the shirts, long sleeves, short sleeves, V-necks, soft shirts, super soft shirts, it runs the gamut. So you can do tank tops. There's just tons of options.
But there's tons of options, but there's only so many of these are going to be made.
Right. Once I hit my mark on the amount of shirts that I can sell, then that's it. It's over. So get them while you can.
So
really.
Don't think about too long. Just go in there and buy.
Get you. I tell you what. You were talking about the earlier. You were talking about the kind of uniqueness of the designs, and they don't say Kiss. There's no like big logo. Mm-hmm. But when I wear my baseball shirt with that demon boot on the front of that shirt, man, you'd be surprised how many people look they double. Oh, hell yeah, they do, man. They double look, they get the double take. I'm like, I know, they're not looking at me, they're looking at the shirt, but hey, whatever. And but yeah, it is amazing. And, I had people coming up because I wore that at probably 2 or 3 shows, and I've had more than one person come up to me at a show and go, that's the coolest freaking shirt. And then there was a guy that I saw, and he had on the Ace shirt that you have. That not the one with the
Eagle
Dynasty.
Wings. Oh, the Dynasty.
The Dynasty
I got you.
Right?
Which one is? Oh, the full Dynasty?
Yeah, he had the full Dynasty shirt on. And I walked up to him and I said, nice shirt. Oh, dude, I love that shirt. So I was like, see, you're creating a bond, man. That's cool. It is cool because, they're not – that's the cool thing. I find it be cool. When I go to a Kiss show, I spend time looking at the shirts. And how many different shirts I can see, and that one's pretty unique. And you can say, oh, that one's homemade.
Right.
You tried, but
Gene will be looking for you because you just used something inappropriately.
Keep your wallet handy. Make sure you have a card for a lawyer.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it is cool. They're out there, and it's really cool to see them, and that's cool. And if you want to send us some cards or something like that, if you don't make it down there, we'd be glad to throw some cards on our table. And
yeah.
Hopefully
you can make it. Just make it. Colin's sick. I got
yeah. It's a great product, man. And actually, I love the shirts. The shirts are really good too. I mean, they're nice shirts.
Oh, they're good
not
quality shirts. That's the whole
they're
point.
not like cheap Gideon shirts that you get, and they're I hate that crap. So nice, they're
Yeah,
well
one
done.
thing too that I do cheap shirts. Yeah.
Right. So as far
You guys are
as
breaking up a little.
yeah,
Well,
you're
breaking
yeah,
up, yeah.
yeah, you're
We're all
breaking up.
breaking up.
It could be something. As far as so when you get your e-commerce site set up, you're still going to be under the same .com that you just gave us, and then like I said, Alan will post that on there on our site and everything, and then like check out the rest of his designs. I mean, he's gonna and are all those available on your website?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you see on the website, they're all available, and it's not only T-shirts, but you can get
hats.
Coffee mug, pillows, and all sorts of really cool things that these e-commerce stores allow you to, just do one-offs on. So if you order it, it takes usually like 7 to 10 days at the very most to get something, from processing to your front door.
But as far as your T-shirts, all your T-shirts that you have available are on that site too, and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah. Well, Ed, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, and hopefully we will run into you either in Nashville if you can whip up a code or some pneumonia or something. You can, the fake.
Yeah, there'll be no pictures of him on anything. You'll be like, no pictures.
Yeah, no pictures.
No pictures.
But there you go.
Exactly.
But if not, we'll see you soon. And like I said, we can't wait for those shirts to come out, and I'm sure we'll all be purchasing something of some sorts from
awesome.
here. All right.
Great. Well, thanks, Bill, and thanks, Dennis. I really appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a thrill. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.